Hello, Kathy Hampton.
Hello, glad to be here.
Thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with me in my series, Conversations with Black Women Who Coach. And it is really nice to have you on. And I want to give you an opportunity to just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I am a mother of two children. I always start with that first, young adult children,
Mhm.
and I started my coaching career really just about 2.5 years ago. But I am a wellness, what I call a wellness advocate,
Mhm.
and that started around 2005. And the coaching part came into being because I needed to tell people how I could help them. And so I became a certified wellness coach, life coach. But my business is called Wellside Retreats. And the idea is that um, I believe that going away and getting away from anything that no longer serves you well, you
Mhm.
need to move away from, you need to retreat from. And that started, that blog, Wellside Retreats, actually started in 2007. So there have been different iterations to my wellness services as well as coaching. And yeah, so that's really about what I do with respect to coaching. I have been a non-practicing attorney for a little over 30 years now,
You're a
and
recovering attorney. I like to call us recovering attorneys. So you're a
recovering
recovering
attorney.
attorney like me.
That's right. That's right. Not and non-traditional. I don't practice. I do research. I research and write
Mhm.
on behalf of attorneys.
So, what would you say inspired you to be a coach?
What I you know what inspired me to be a coach was someone said to me, "You need to write and tell other people about what you're doing, and you can really help other people." And I knew that I wanted to help people because I have been through a journey of self help, and then I received help myself
Mhm.
when hitting a roadblock, and also when I became aware that I had not been living well.
Mhm.
And some people believe that they are the only ones when they walk around in the world.
Mhm.
Oh, this is only happening to me out of millions of people.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I had a aunt who's no longer with me or with us any longer. She used to say, "Don't ever think you are the only one." And you can always learn from others. And I now believe that I am doing what I'm supposed to do, and that is helping other people realizing their fulfillment, their life purpose, and how to fulfill their lives. And the coaching and what I do as what they call a law librarian
Mhm.
um, go hand in hand. Librarians help people with resources, and they answer questions
Yep.
or pose questions in an interview, what they call a library interview, to ask what someone needs. So the two go hand in hand, and I think I'm divinely um, positioned to coach.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about Wellside Retreats and exactly what you do and what your services are?
Sure. Now, Wellside Retreat started again before I became a coach.
Mhm.
And it is a transformational destination retreat business where I coordinate and facilitate retreats at locations away from my home, your home, anyone's home, at a spa, at a bed and breakfast,
Okay.
at a location that will allow one to unwind, rejuvenate, and get in touch with themselves, but also to see themselves in a different place, in a different space, in a different environment. And it's transformational. It's not a vacation. It's not, it's really being in touch with oneself. And I take individuals or groups of people
Okay.
on a retreat, and that's
Now,
what Wellside Retreat is.
are they, do you go outside the United States, or do you, because you know I'm a big fan of being outside the United States personally, but do you do them locally as well as internationally, or how does it work?
Well, yes, that that will occur outside of the United States and in the United States. My first retreat, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The retreats have actually not happened because of COVID.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
COVID has put a damper on almost every single thing that one could possibly do outside of one's home. The last 12 to 13 months and counting.
it's been awful. I had one set for the Pocono, up in the Pocono Mountains,
Hmm.
at a beautiful location, and it was scheduled for April of 2020, and we were like in the heat of it at
Hmm.
that time, and I just knew it was going to blow over, and of course it didn't,
Hmm.
because I had actually started working with people in Bali for a
Right.
retreat in Bali.
Yeah, we
That
all
hasn't
thought this
happened.
was going to roll over. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
I literally, I went on a trip to Thailand in January, December through January of 2020, December 2019, 2020. And you're hearing these little things, but I'm thinking, oh, when I get back, I'm going to Portugal. I'm not paying attention to any of this. And then it's like I got back. I remember vividly, I got back on January 7th, and it felt like all hell broke loose as soon as I
Yes.
got back to the United States.
Yes.
And it has not, I don't know what the new normal is going to be. Eventually there will be one, but it's like we haven't we've all kind of just been frozen in lots of ways
Yes. Yeah.
ever since, and it's a
Mhm.
weird state of being, you know.
Yes, it is. It's a weird state of being, and I've tried to make adjustments to what I call a retreat. Everybody's been doing things virtually, and so what I thought of doing, and which I make a practice of, is journaling. So I created an online uh, virtual workshop of journaling to get people in touch with themselves through journaling. And I've held three separate series of workshops, from it started October 2020,
Hmm.
and we're ending the third series uh, the end of this month, and it'll stop for the summer and then pick back up in October. But I plan on I'm actually getting ready to make calls to schedule destination retreats.
Okay, so you
Uh,
have found a way to like support people in a virtual way, even though you're not able to do the in-person retreat. So I'm
exactly.
very interested in hearing what you're going to be doing once you get these back underway, as well as what you're doing now. So, and I'll be sure to put your information in the description so that people can contact you uh,
Great.
to learn more about it. So, my next question is, why would you say having a Black woman as a coach matters? If in your opinion it does, if
Mhm.
it matters, and do you think it matters, I guess is really my question. And if yes, what in your view is the value of having a Black woman as a coach?
Sure. Thank you. Thanks for that. I like that question. I'm Black, and when looking for a therapist or a coach, I don't necessarily consider first race, but um, my clients are Black. I've had, and I come with specific references, experiences in the Black community, in the Black world. And I identify strongly with my community. So if someone is looking and is not at all comfortable with a non with not comfortable with someone outside of the Black community as their coach, I suggest that they go with someone that they would feel comfortable with, because, excuse me, because of all kinds of personal, professional, economic issues that Black people face that are outside of the non-Black space, then it's important that you feel comfortable working with someone, whether that be therapy or in a coaching environment.
And I agree with you. And you heard me, you follow me. So, I feel very strongly about the idea of hiring a Black woman, especially as a Black woman, hiring a Black coach, because I just think the American experience specifically is very unique to Black people. And Black women specifically. And I think it's hard to explain certain things to someone who isn't Black, and there's hard to explain certain things to someone who is not a Black woman. When you're a Black woman, experience certain things in life as well as in the workplace and so on. It's kind of hard to explain to someone, and sometimes someone who isn't Black may question whether what you're saying is real or whether it's a real experience, while a Black woman will know when you say it. You don't really have to explain it. And as I've said to people many times, I'm sitting here amidst boxes everywhere in my house because I'm moving in about 4 or 5 weeks now. And I wouldn't be if it wasn't for a Black woman who was a coach, There's no way. I know that a white woman would not have positioned me in the way that this person positioned me. It just would not have happened, right? And that this person actually allowed me to question, is the problem really me, as I'm being told, or might the problem be something else, right? And so I think that it's important to have that perspective of someone who understands what your lived experience is. And it's very difficult for someone who isn't a Black woman to always understand some of these things. They can be sympathetic and they can even try to empathize, but it's hard for them to, because they don't know what it's like. They just don't.
That's right.
Yeah, they just don't. And it's not a criticism. I mean, I've worked with women who were not Black who were coaches, and they were very good at what they did. But in terms of being able to support me in the way that I needed to be supported, in the way that I know a lot of other women that I've referred to coaches needed to be supported, they couldn't. And that's not a criticism of them. It's just that their lived experience is not the same. And ours is simply unique. And it is what it is. Being Black in America is a very specific and unique experience that is very difficult for someone to truly understand if they're not in it and if they're not Black. It is what it is. And that's not something that thrills me to say, because I would rather that it were not that way, but it is, right?
Right.
So what kind of woman would you say should hire you as her coach?
I believe that a woman who truly wants, you have to want to become what I call unstuck. You have to have a desire to want to move forward. But the question then goes to, how do you know that I want this? Well, if you wake up in the mornings and you have questions about, why don't I want to go to work? Why am I not getting along with this partner that I have? Why I feel unfulfilled on the job? Then I can help you with those whys, those questions. And the other reason I believe someone would benefit from my services is because I really want the client to dig deep, to do the work. And a lot of and I'm very truthful. And that may sound, pie in the sky. It may sound a little, may actually sound hard,
Mm-hmm.
but because truth is hard.
Oh, yes, it is.
But
Oh, yes, it
but
is.
truth is really hard. But I believe I believe I'm a kind person. I've been told that. I am a very empathetic person. Sometimes I cross the line with that, which it can be dangerous. But I'm very empathetic, and I'm passionate about people being well. I will say that this wellness advocacy started really from a point where mental health uh, has been key to my learning and understanding. And I am well set to be able to tell someone whether or not I am for them as a coach or whether they should go seek mental health counseling or therapy. And that's how much I'm invested in people getting well or being well
And
and
that's good
living.
to know, and that's good to hear because there is a line there um, that when you're being coached, where I think it's appropriate for a coach to tell someone that if they think that they need a therapist, because coaching is not therapy, as I
Right.
always tell people. They're not there to shrink you, neither should they be shrinking. I call it. Even though I have to say, at times, I did feel like I was being shrunk a little bit, but it was to my benefit. And I would say that I'd be like, I feel like you're shrinking me right now. I don't know how I feel about that. Because she would ask me some really hard questions sometimes that would make me, you know, stop for a second and be like, I beg your pardon. But it was important for her to ask me those questions, right? But it's important
Yeah.
to also know when you're getting into an area, as you said,
Yes,
it would be also good to say to someone, you need to talk to a mental health um,
that's right.
professional to
That's
see
right.
if you could dig a
That's
little
right.
deeper into this. Um,
Yeah.
well, that was my last question. Do you want to tell people before we sign off your website where they can find more information about you? And I will be sure to include your website in the description as well, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to do that.
Sure. Sure. You can find my website, which has a number of things all about me, about you, about what coaching is, what it's not. It has to be updated for some of the new offerings, but you can go to Wellside Retreats, that's with the S, .care, CARE, not com, .care, Wellside Retreats .care. And that's the website. You can find a blog, an older blog, which I keep it up because it was the baby, the first website that I actually designed myself, and that's at wellsideretreats.com.
Okay.
But all the goodies, the transformational destination retreats and coaching services are on .care, wellsideretreats.care. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Like me on Facebook as well. And yeah, I hope to meet you all, and please do be in touch.
Kathy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's really nice to finally meet you
You too.
and to hear more about the services you provide through Wellside Retreats. Thanks for
Thank,
being here.
thank you.